Welcome back to the Center Podcast. I got Mark, and this is Victor. How y'all feeling today?
Who?
The people.
Oh,
You.
yeah. Y'all feeling? I feel good. I feel a little, not exhausted, but I guess it's the weather. It's a little gloomy outside.
Yeah, I feel like my whole vibe. It's been like that all week, though.
Yeah, that's true. It hasn't been like super sunny. It was sunny yesterday, but I don't know.
It's fall is setting in. That winter is setting in.
Definitely.
And that's what's happening. But if y'all don't, I don't think y'all realize, but y'all only got like a couple hours left for this giveaway. So what are y'all waiting for? If y'all want to be a part of this, like we giving away that hat. Let's see. What else we got? What else we giving away? We giving away this keychain, this chain that wasn't sold. This is not what you couldn't buy this.
Exclusive stuff.
Exclusive
I don't
shit.
know about it.
And them stickers that if y'all got the merch, y'all know what we talking about. And I also have on me right now that we giving out to y'all. And there's gonna be 2 winners to this giveaway. And all y'all gotta do is go to the link in our bios, in the ETC bio, this video bio, each of our bios on Instagram and Twitter, ETC Marky Mark and ETC Victor, and follow what it says on there. It's literally just a task of like, if you have an Instagram, follow us on Instagram. If you have a Twitter, follow us on there. I believe there's 6 different things to do on there. So it's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, podcast, and one more, TikTok.
Yeah.
So just follow us on each of those, and each task out of those 6, you can do all of them. Each one that you do is an entry, your name as an entry into the giveaway. And there'll be 2 winners, and both winners will get a hat, a keychain, and the stickers delivered to you. Doesn't have to be local. We'll ship it out to you. We'll hand deliver it, whatever you prefer.
We don't care.
But it'll be 2 winners. You have a chance to have your name entered 6 times if you do everything, and you get some free merch. So what are you waiting for? Only a couple hours left.
Only a couple. Get to it.
It's been running since last week. You had time. What are you waiting for?
Do it. Just do it, like Shyla said.
Yep. Nike. Shyla.
Yeah.
Make your dreams come true. Get some ETC merch. But yeah, that's all that's going on. This is our first time doing a giveaway. We finished with the merch. We got so many people like, oh, I wish we could have got it. Yeah. Oh my God, no, I didn't. I couldn't get it at the time. This is your chance, and this is the best way. You're like, oh, but I want a T-shirt or I want a hoodie.
Sorry.
No. The reason.
Sorry.
The reason that we're going about it this way is because it's easier. We don't really have to worry about sizing as much. So we did the merch pre-ordered. So what we had is what we had. But these hats though, a little easier where they're adjustable. So as long as your head isn't super tiny or really big, this will fit you. And the keychains, are kind of sick. It's the same logo that you see on the hat. They're very clean, very nice.
4th time doing this.
Yeah. And then stickers, they work with anything. But it's a chance for you to get a nice little care pack from ETC. So,
why not?
What are you waiting on? Helps us help you guys out.
But I am gonna say this, y'all slept on the shirts,
bro. Them shirts go crazy. That graphic go crazy. Them colors go crazy. A lot of y'all with y'all, I'm sorry, but we gonna talk our shit. A lot of y'all with y'all brands out here. Y'all don't got the graphic design that we got popping right now. That's all I'm saying. We ain't even a clothing brand. Look at these t-shirts, son. These t-shirts sexy. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Get you in that giveaway, man. It's very easy. Just a couple clicks. But make sure if you're doing this stuff, you do it through the giveaway link so your name can get entered into the giveaway.
Yes.
If you go through, if you just do it through Instagram or something like that, it's not gonna enter your name. So thank you for bringing my close mark.
There you go.
Make sure you do it through the giveaway link so your name can actually be entered into the giveaway. Because they're gonna ask for your name and email, and then they're gonna see how many times, which of the tasks that you did, and enter your name each time.
Yes.
And that's about it. What's going on with you? No, better yet, before we get into the actual episode,
stuff we gotta bring to attention.
Bring to attention that I hate that we even have to mention it, but it's something that I feel like
it's you tweeted it out too. It's like it's crazy how when things seem like they're going right, something always ends up happening.
Yeah.
I hate that we have to address these type of things and the fact that they are happening. It just sucks.
Literally as we speak, like there's stuff going on outside this building that we're recording in. So in this house, as long as it's been 2 days since then. It's been
I think so, yeah.
since Walter Wallace Jr. That's his name, correct? Walter Wallace Jr. He was shot like how many times? Multiple times. Way too many times.
Yeah, it was multiple. I don't know the exact number for shots.
And was killed in front of his mother in West Philadelphia. Yeah, just I don't. Again, there's no even need to get into the details. It's just a matter of the fact, regardless of what situation you're talking about, there's no reason for the cops to be giving out the death penalty.
That excessive force a lot of the times is not needed, and I feel like it's just crazy. Like I feel like there's a lot of alternatives, and it's not happening.
It's not an option. They're trained to de-escalate, and they're doing the complete opposite.
Like I can definitely say like it is their life too that they have to worry about, but it's like you got to think of all the circumstances. I feel like I get it. This is life or death a lot of the times, but you were trained to be able to
handle these situations,
handle these certain type of situations. Like it's not always in a sense where okay, it's life or death. Let me just immediately go to the last resort.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure they go through training where it's like okay, these are a lot of situations, these are the things you can do to handle these certain situations. And if worse comes to worse, then do that. But, I'm pretty sure there's things that they can do besides.
And they have the tools to do so, and they have the numbers to do so, but it just seems like they always decide not to. And it's not like, oh, it's so hard. And I know every situation is different, but there has been cases before where some, perpetrators, quote unquote, in the past, who may be a different skin tone, may have been doing the same exact thing or even worse and have walked away okay. I'm just going to say that about that. So it's not impossible. And I know every cop is different, but if you're going to be a cop, there should be a certain standard being held. Yeah. So if you say, oh, I was scared for my life because he had a knife, you weren't the first one who has been in that situation. You haven't been the first one to de-escalate or even been in that position to be able to de-escalate the situation, make it out okay to your family. I'm not saying don't protect yourself. Oh, yeah. But protect yourself doesn't mean don't kill somebody, because even in law, if somebody comes into your house, you can't kill them. Mm-hmm. So why the fuck do you think it's okay for you to kill at will?
Yeah.
Because if somebody comes into my house and threatens my life, if I kill them, I still go to jail. How the fuck does that make sense?
Yeah. There's a lot that depends on that too, but yeah, and I feel like we gotta just also address like we're not saying like all cops are like this, because there's been stuff where you see certain cops where they don't go to that extreme and they actually take the right precautions firsthand to make sure that it doesn't get to that point where it could be a bad situation and a bad look. So that's just something I feel like we should say too as well. But for what happened, I feel like there was definitely a different option that could have been held rather than the last resort, for sure.
The cop system is a flawed system, and I'm not saying that the people that are cops are bad people, but cops are bad. And not in the sense of like them themselves, but the idea of cops are bad because this, like literally the system and how it's operated is not working anymore. It's flawed. It's outdated.
Yeah, it's just the things that are happening nowadays. It's just I don't know.
There are better ways, but I think we need to accept the fact that like some white dudes that came up with some ideas 200, 300, 400 years ago might not have the best ideas for what's going on right now. They didn't expect us to have automatic weapons and all this other shit and the capabilities that we have now. So the same rules and regulations that worked back then may not work as well today. So you gotta fix some things.
That's the whole thing with like accepting change, and that's also the thing with like why a lot of the times you see nowadays younger people trying to get into those positions, trying to basically take out the older people that are there just because like they technically know and see what's happening and they can probably change some things where it benefits everybody and not just like a one-sided thing where they make it super oppressive. And a lot of the times when they try doing that, they don't end up getting in because those older people,
because of their age.
Yeah, basically. The age and the older people are like, you're not qualified, you don't know, you don't have experience. And it's like, I get I don't like have that much experience, but I feel like you don't have any experience of what's happening now. Like you're totally blocking.
You're like so out of touch.
Yeah, you're totally what's going blocking everything that's happening. You're not adapting to the things that are happening around you.
What I don't fucking like. This is a whole other ranging topic, but you try to say I don't have experience. Most of these times, these politicians, although they're not fucking 60,
I mean,
they're in their 30s.
I mean,
and
if we're talking about experience, I mean, let's talk for the president. But I mean, that's a prime example.
They're living in it. One, two.
Yeah,
these people aren't out of high school. These are adults that did their college time, and I thought college would mean you have the training to do that job.
Yeah.
But supposedly you need more experience than that. Okay, fair. Well, how the fuck are we supposed to get experience if you don't put us in these spots to get experience?
True.
So, I understand that, as far as I know, the government doesn't work on one guy making all the decisions.
True.
So, if you're going to tell me I don't have the experience, okay, put me in that position and surround me with people who do have the experience to guide me. But don't,
even
like,
if
it doesn't mean,
like,
because I just keep having this one person in my head that I'm thinking about, but I'm going to let you keep going.
I said, like, it's even if you don't give that person like the position to have that person by your side to see, you know. But even again, that's like a little, like, I guess you would say, like, that could be nervous just because you could probably go in there with one thought of how you want to change things, but then if you start getting, like, I guess, guidance by the person you're following and they end up doing the complete opposite, you're like, wow, I guess this is what I have to do, you know, in order to be seen or noticed, because if I don't do that, then they're immediately going to look at me like, oh, okay, I'm not following the right protocol or the right qualifications to get into this position. So it could be a little bit hard, I guess, in a sense.
Well, I mean, when I say when they get in these positions, they should have the authority. I'm just saying that have people in their team that are, at the end of the day, the person in power is going to, like, the lead person is going to make that decision.
Yeah.
But having people with experience underneath them to tell them, hey, like, we tried something like this in the past, this is why it didn't work, this and that. So either way, I think that's a good way to go about it. And also, again, not one person makes a final decision. Like, everything's voted upon. So if a bunch of people have valid reasons why it's a bad idea, then it won't go through. But don't tell somebody that's in their 30s or even 40s or 50s that they don't have enough experience when you don't give them the chance to have experience.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, what we were talking about is that there needs to be change, and there shouldn't be these people dying. And regardless, I'm not saying that I don't even know, I wasn't there, I don't know the whole situation, but regardless of what this man did, he should have the option to get arrested, go to court, say his piece, and then have the chance to either walk free or go to jail.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying that people who get into altercations with police and end up not, like, say if he robbed a store and gets into altercation with the police and he gets shot and died. Not talking about the person that just got shot in Philly. Just in general, if a man were to rob a store, get into altercation with police, that doesn't mean that they should get shot and die. You arrest them, de-escalate the situation, arrest them, take them to court, let the process happen, and do what the Constitution intended for us to happen, where everybody has a chance to say their piece. If he goes to jail because he did rob that store, then fair.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that court system's fucked up too, but that's a whole, like, you should be able to have that true process.
Yeah.
And the police are just completely stripping that process. And I'm not saying that it's every fucking day, because people, when you have an opinion, people swear you're talking about the extreme, which I'm not. I'm just saying in this particular situation,
this particular thing,
my man's, he didn't deserve to go out like this.
No, yeah.
Especially in front of family, especially in front of
and that's the second
neighbors.
time we hear about that, especially when it's like the whole thing in front of family. But a lot of people, and I'm not sure this is true, were saying that, like, basically he might have been, like, you know, ill or something like that.
Yeah, that he was having, like, a mental episode, which
even again,
further,
another reason as to why are you doing that, you know? Like, if this person is having an issue with their mental state, then you definitely shouldn't just, like, use that as an excuse to use your last resort. Like, come on now, like, you know he's going through something, and not to mention it's like it's two of y'all, you know? Like, come on.
And even if you're still not comfortable, call for more people.
Yeah, like, you can do that. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like you can do a situation where, and again, like, since I am not a cop, I am not in that situation. I wasn't there. I can't say I know for sure what they should do, like what they should do and all this, because again, I'm not a cop. But, you know, if anything, don't get too close, surround, make sure he doesn't hurt anybody else. Like, you know, like, try to, like,
remove people from the area.
Yeah, like, do something like that, because, you know, at least at that point, you know, everybody else is safe and even your own life is safe, you know. And again, like, that's probably what the most important thing for them is, to make sure they're safe. So that's what I would think they would do, but, you know, not really just be like, okay, knife equals my life, let me just stop it right here, you know. So that's crazy to you, like to me that's basically what happened. I couldn't believe it.
And I mean, I get you're right in the situation, and you kind of draw a blank when you're nervous, and it's hard to think cool all the time. But also, you're trained in this, and you know what you getting into every time you clock in to go to work. But there's like the nightstick, there's your taser, there's stun guns, mace. Even if you're using your gun, you don't have to shoot 7 times to kill them. You can just do it enough to subdue them.
That's what I was thinking, honestly. Like, if you were to use a gun, use it and shoot them somewhere where it can kind of, you know,
or at least they'll be able to get detained, and you can give them medical attention to go about that, because ambulances are going to pull up anyway.
Yeah.
Most times when there's cops are called, the ambulance are following right behind them.
Right behind. So I don't understand why it's
just fucked up.
They need to do.
Kind of transitioning from that, I wanted to talk about this because it's kind of funny with the election. Well, go fucking vote. Today is election day. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Stand in line at the polls and watch this podcast, man.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, like, yo, go now. Like, if you're watching this now, you just realize what we talk about, and you see how important that is. Go fucking vote.
I think I went maybe 3 days ago. I went down to City Hall.
You dropped off?
Ballot.
Yeah.
I put my ballot in.
I had mine filled up too.
It was literally 2 seconds. So you literally go in there, and I went to like the right in this one hallway, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, you have it." I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Let me look at it." I'm like, "All right, just drop it in." Like, all right,
good job, you voted.
And they were like, they gave me a sticker. I was like,
and people always complain. Like, I've voted twice already.
I think you have. I've only did it once.
So I voted.
How my birthday was.
I voted for the presidential election. And I voted for like a primary, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Both times, no line, like literally like a couple minutes, if anything. Like maybe 1 or 2. Like it's never really that big of a hassle.
Yeah, I mean that line at City Hall was kind of long.
But that's City Hall.
But I'm pretty sure,
everybody has like their designated like ballot place in their neighborhood. So it's usually like if you just go about it the right way, everything's fine. Especially with COVID, I know things are probably gonna be a little bit longer, but go vote, man.
Go fucking vote.
Yeah, I just realized I'm like, wait, when? Because we do these in advance. So I'm trying to like, when is this dropping? I'm like, yo, it's the 3rd.
Yeah.
Go vote. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, if you haven't, please. Like, I know it can be annoying to hear it from us because I'm pretty sure you see it on ads, you see it on commercials.
My phone has I
see it in your the apps you use whenever you get a random ad. You see it when you're listening to music if it has ads like on Spotify, because I fucking know I've been listening to it, so I know, and it can be annoying. Trust me, I look at it and I'm like, wow, here's another one. They even did one where it was like an 8-bit Joe Biden ad, and I'm like, yo, y'all are really like going in on it, and it's like I could be mad, but at the same time I understand like this is probably like one of the most important. Like,
and as much as we push, like, my fault to cut you off, but I feel like even as hard as you push, like you're still gonna see that that people our age didn't show up as much, and that's why it's frustrating, because it's like, yo, like we have so much power to just shift this shit, and like, oh, people are like, oh, it doesn't work. I'm on that same boat as you. Like I feel like it's been frustrating of just kind of like, oh, like voting doesn't work. I get that. I understand why you feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
But doing something is better than doing nothing at all.
Exactly. Why sit there and not be a cause to the change, and instead of doing something that could have affected it, because the worst thing you can do is not do it and then complain and talk about it saying, oh, why is it like this?
Because as of right now, besides protesting and doing that other stuff, the way our system works, until we change it, voting is the only option we have. Yeah. Unless you want to run yourself, voting is what we got.
Go ahead.
So might as well just use all your options and just hope that shit works out. But if you're just going to sit back and say, oh, the world is fucked up, and you're not doing anything about it, no, shut the fuck up. Like, who are you? Like,
yeah, you can't blame anybody but yourself in a sense.
It's like being in a school project and being the person that doesn't do shit, and then you get a shitty grade, and the person that didn't do shit is like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
what'd y'all do, guys? What happened?
Why did we get such a bad grade? It's because you didn't do your fucking part.
Bro, I had an experience like that.
All my classes, I have 5 experiences like that going on right now. I hate online group projects. It's terrible.
Bro, I've had that in high school. It was so bad, and I don't know if it was freshman or sophomore year, but I snitched right after. Like, yo, I didn't care,
I'm getting there because I'm just like, yo, I spent yesterday practically by myself writing a 10-page paper, and I'm just like, yo, like, and I would I didn't mean to. Like, I was just kind of like, yo, there's an outline here. Like, I'm gonna do these 2 sections. Can y'all do these other sections? And we just break it apart. And it was getting towards the end of the night, and I'm like, yo, like, nothing's done. Like, and y'all about to tear me like, nah, I'm about to start the fuck writing. Y'all not gonna fuck my shit up. I'm doing really good this semester.
Bro, that shit was so funny though when that happened though, because it was literally like I was doing everything. Like it would be class time. Like that's when we would have time to do it because that's because back then like that's what was the whole point to do it during class. Literally every time we got in class, they would just as soon as it started, they just started talking. Got up, went to a different table. I'm like, cool. It was like a geography project. We had to do something with something like mapping or something, bro. I did that job maybe 2 days, and like I literally the day like before or the day it was, I talked to my teacher. I was like, bro, they didn't do shit. Like they didn't do shit. I did literally everything. I was like, they probably did something like first day and did a little writing here and there, but you don't understand how bad. Like I even like decided. I was like at the end. I was like, yo, like here, write your name on it. Like just write like just because it was me, I said write your name on it. But I still snitched. I was like, they didn't do anything. But it was just the fact that when I said that, they didn't have like no like, problem with it. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, but you didn't do shit. Like they didn't even have no issue with writing their name on it. I'm like, yo, I need to tell them. Like y'all didn't even care. Like I did all this by myself and y'all didn't even care. I was like, nah, it's a wrap. But yeah, do your part. Go fucking vote.
Yeah, for sure. I get it. Like, it's frustrating. Bro, my first election was freaking Trump and Hillary, and I went and I'm like, yo, this man not winning. This man not winning. I voted. I'm good.
Yeah. You feel like so much power. Like I did it. I know my one vote's gonna count. Trump is the new president. God, what the?
I went to sleep so tight that night. I'm like,
bro, that was one of the elections. Like besides when Obama, like obviously because it was right after, but like I literally remember, like I was about to go to sleep, and I even then was like looking on my phone before I went to bed, just checking on, like updating it. I'm like, bro, this man is winning, and I was like, bro, no
when the
way.
first time he won, I was like,
bro, I'm waking up to this. Like I'm going to wake up tomorrow with this man as my president. Like I could not.
With a black president.
But no, I'm talking about when Trump. When it was Trump, like I was like, yo, I can't believe this. Like I went to sleep and I'm like, bro.
There was a point where I just seen that map of them breaking it down. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, and I was just hoping and praying. I'm like, come on, make this turn around, God. Like you got this. You got this. Woke up. I'm like, yo.
That system needs to be switched up too. Everything's just so outdated. The justice system, the way police works, the presidential election and all the other election ruling just needs to get switched up. Because why, if the most popular person in a democracy where the majority wins, the most popular person doesn't win?
Yeah. That's how it was with Hillary.
That's what I'm saying.
She had the popular vote.
And Bush. The reason Bush got in is because he lost the popular vote, but he won by electoral college. The fuck? So you give us the chance to vote. What the fuck? Which is why I understand why people are like, yo, I don't want to vote, but I still do it anyway just because it's all we have. Yeah. But it doesn't make sense that, the intention of the electoral college is that to make sure that, basically saying that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, we're going to decide for you based on what you vote.
It was like, we're seeing y'all all voted for Hillary, but over here we have more qualified people that voted. And we think we should look at this.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like the value, it's just a weird ass system that I feel like if you're going to give us a democracy where we vote based on the majority, the popular vote should be winning. If you want to,
keep on.
If you want to have some recount or some shit and expand not have the election be in one day, let it stretch out for a week until we figure out what the actual results are, to sort through whatever ballots and shit. Cool, do that. But this whole bullshit where literally the popular vote just doesn't win, and you would think I'm killing this shit. It's nah, y'all killing me with this shit.
Yeah, but it almost feels like it's not a democracy because of how shit is, it's crazy. We think, oh yeah, we have a voice to speak up, and when we do or try to, it's almost like we're not being heard. So.
And if you're like, oh, I'm not registered, if you're not registered, register today. Do it now while it's fresh on your mind. So next time when the primary or the presidential election comes around, you're good to go. Don't wait. Do it. What I wanted to talk about before when we were talking about elected officials and being too young and all this shit. Our girl AOC, our Hispanic queen, was out here grinding on Twitch,
Uh,
playing Among Us.
Yeah.
She had like 100-something thousand viewers, like 30, either 30,000 or it was 100-something
Jeez, I
thousand.
didn't know it was that much.
But she had like thousands of viewers. I forget if it was 100 or 30,000.
Mm.
But she was playing Among Us, suited up, politicianed up
Imagine.
with her peoples, trying to get these young kids to vote. That's what I'm talking about. Like, y'all can't, like, these 7-year-olds not doing that.
That's all, and yeah, like that's crazy. Like even if they're not even registered to vote, it's like having that early experience of having somebody.
Of
like
seeing
that.
the importance of why you should vote.
You know, it's
by the
like,
time they are old enough to go, like
it's wow. It's like wow, because you know, I feel like again going back to the older people, you know, sticking to what they know. It's like you got to understand these younger people. The world's changing. You have to find a way to encourage them to do the like.
at the same
I
time,
guess
they
in
don't.
their head they don't think it's the right, like they think it's the right thing, but it really isn't anymore. So it's like doing this, you got to find a way to influence and kind of encourage them to do that. And doing what she's doing, you know, it's crazy to think like, oh, a video game, but like that's what people are watching. That's what people are doing, and it's like that's the best way to do it. And I think it's amazing to see that.
But that's the thing. That at the same time, you think about it, they're not looking. They don't want us to vote. They want the people that think like them to vote. So they're gonna stay on Facebook.
But seeing that, you know, that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna advertise on Facebook. They're not gonna advertise on TikTok. And try and get these
they want
older
to get
people to
rid
vote.
of TikTok.
Yeah, try and get these older people to continue being the majority voters. So that's why that's the thing. But her playing the long game, which is basically what she's doing. Because as soon as she's old enough to like be president, I don't even know if she's old enough yet or how old she is. But once she's, I was thinking about it too. Like today on the way, I'm like, yo, like once she's old enough, and if she were to run, like if our first Hispanic president were to be a Hispanic woman president, dog, yo, the streets would go wild.
Bro,
like,
I am waiting for a woman to be president. Like when Hillary was going for president, I was like, yeah, like I'm so for it. Like I don't know why, but I'm just like I can understand. I feel like I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say, but I'm just saying in general, a woman, just in general.
Don't get me wrong. I preferred her anyway.
Yeah. But I'm like definitely like
even though I wanted Bernie.
definitely, but you know, definitely a Hispanic woman. Like I'm definitely like all for it, just because it's like, yo,
And
I feel like this.
I'm ready to
needs
go to
change.
war with whoever this Hispanic woman president would be.
Yeah.
Because I already know the bullshit they're gonna try and say on her, and this trying to like push this like Hispanic woman narrative of being like crazy or being too loud. Shut like I'll be in the streets for AOC if she were to get elected, whoever it is.
I can only imagine.
I would have been, even though I don't agree with Kamala Harris, if she were the presidential like nominee, I'm like a black woman, bro.
Yeah, she's the first.
Same difference. Like
she's literally the first black vice president. So it's like it's
some color and some women in there.
It's getting in there. Yeah, definitely a woman of color. Like that's what I'm really like looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't think I want a Karen in there.
Nah, it's not right.
I would hate to have a Karen in there.
It's.
But hey.
But
I mean,
like
whatever.
I said, I definitely want a woman just because it's gonna give a different perspective of things.
Obviously,
you know?
I want the person I feel is the best candidate for the country and overall. But I just feel like no offense, these dusty ass white men just not doing it no more, and we gotta change that. And it's not necessarily that they're dusty old white men; it's just their thought process. Because I already forgot his name. He didn't even make it that far. What was that one dude that was like, you know what I'm talking about?
I think hold up.
He's like from Texas. He was like really popping for a little bit. Like people thought he was gonna be the guy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
If y'all know, y'all know. But something I don't know. It's gonna come to me later. And I'm gonna be upset. But that guy, he was old. He was not old, but he was an older white man, and his ideas were pretty solid. Like,
yeah.
And I would have like that's okay. And like it's not like and then there's people like Bernie, old white man,
and that's
not bad.
And that was literally his biggest flaw. They were like, oh, he's so
too old. But they're the same age as Donald and fucking Biden.
It's just his looks.
It's literally he looks his age. That's the only problem.
Just because he has a little hunch, I don't.
He literally looks his age. So if you have a problem with him looking that old, what's the difference?
He's comfortable in his skin.
What's the difference between Biden and Trump, who are literally that old? They just trying to lie to themselves and look like lizards and like stretch their skin back. But yeah, I don't. It's just these people, man. I'm tired of it. Put me in, son. I would be terrible.
Got you, Victor.
I would be a terrible politician.
Right to your side.
I'd be like Trump, but on the opposite spectrum. Like I'd just be like saying whatever the fuck I want, but it would just be way too aggressive for people.
Yeah, you getting out. You gonna get taken out.
Especially the way
Unless the system changes, you get taken out immediately.
Oh, it's on now. All y'all bitches is out.
Oh shit.
Shaking up the system. We treating this shit like American Idol. Sing for America.
Shit. I'm like, Victor, you can't do this. Like,
We gonna
you
win.
can't keep saying these
You know what we
things.
need? You know what we need to treat the election as? To, like, use the same format as the Masked Singer. Just have all them people go up there in costumes and
True, they
shit,
won't
and
know
cover
who
their
exactly
face,
they are.
muffle their voice, just
Yeah.
listen to what they talking about.
You're like, ew, why are they talking about this stuff?
And then at the end of the election, they come out.
And it's like, it's too late. You can't take your vote back now. You're stuck. So
But like but if you think about it, that's truly how it should be.
I
Because
feel
like
it's
too much. It's too much branding. It's
Yeah.
too much trying to sell the person.
The
No,
skin
and-
color and
Yeah,
on
all this
top of
other
that,
shit.
like all the other
Religion,
shit.
all that. Take all that shit out.
Mhm.
Just have them up there, even if it's not to that degree where it's like we don't look like idiots. You just literally have them talking up there with like a black
But
silhouette.
I feel like it
and
really
have
is
them
just
like talk like this, like a drug ink.
yeah. I feel like it's really though like the skin color though, because you like I feel like you can even talk about religion too, but it's like if you don't know the skin color, you're still gonna look at that person as just like the same person.
But you know how that would shake up the game, bro?
It would.
Because like anybody could win
Mhm.
if you just say the right shit,
Shit, I'll be able to go up there.
bro. Like
I'll just have something written down. I'll just say all
only
of it.
danger in
I
that
don't
is
know, it's
there would
me.
have to be like an extra layer to it where
Yeah,
you would have to like, or
you have to sing.
no, no. Before like not anybody can go up there. You can apply for it, but they have to.
Yeah, they have to meet the like, there's gonna
There
be
should be qualifications.
so
There
you
should be a
obviously
committee
have
that
to-
like
yeah.
knows who's running
Yeah,
and like double checks that
yeah, true.
and go from there. And then I guess they should put some of that out there so people know how
Yeah.
experienced they are.
True, yeah.
But in terms of like being out into the public, like no,
like some background, just like how the show does, they
Yeah.
get hints and stuff like that. But it's it'll be more than just like hints. Like it'll be definitely
bro,
playing out there.
I just came up with that on the spot. I like that.
It'll be playing out there.
Let's make it happen.
Nick Cannon.
He's the host.
Nick Cannon.
Or Mario Lopez or something like
Yeah,
that.
Mario Lopez. It'll be way better. Oh, but I definitely think they need to sing too. Though.
Because I don't know if you ever seen this before, but in other countries they have something like that. Like they have not something like that. That's a little extreme. But they make the elections fun. Like the graphics and stuff and the way like in Asian countries, which you kind of expect, but they make it poppy and fun and colorful and like engaging where it's not just like, oh, we're here. We can see if you see the map of the United States, we got a couple of Wyoming's.
The Democrats are really taking over this.
It's a swing state, and you can see it's good. We might not know how it's gonna like. Nobody's gonna sit there and watch. Like we watch it because we have to, but
That's all we got.
yeah. And we're already seen as a joke anyway. Might as well just go full force and just be entertaining.
This country is I hate to say it because it's my country, but
I was in my class. So right now in my class, we're working with like we each have our teams and we're working like real life real life companies like in Philly and like working with them to like build up their marketing stuff. And one of my classmates, he has his own company, and he's the person like they're using his company as like the project, and he's developing an app, and he has like a company making the app for him in India, and it's like a security type of app. And the company in India said like, yo, like we know the election's coming up, we're gonna like make sure this is finished before then so you can get it out there. Basically saying like, yo, like I know like the US isn't safe right now, like that's such a jab that I just like
yeah.
like you can see how other countries are seeing us right now, just like the hood of the world. It's like Florida. Like we're Florida as a country.
Basically, just the whole state just in one.
It's sad. But yeah, bro, like I'm actually really impressed with that idea. This is like when I made up King's Cup of Uno cards. Like on the spot. Same idea.
Oh, yeah, true.
But like
Same concept.
the Masked Singer as a presidential election. You don't see their faces, don't know their voices because it's muffled out, and you just straight up spit political bars and just let them know what's up. Not really singing, but just saying, hey, this is my stance on this, this, and that.
Singing.
I mean, if we want to take it like beauty pageant style, they could get like a little
A
talent
little
section.
talent, see what they got. I'll be one of the judges for that.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be one of the judges.
I feel like that'd be fire. It's a fire thought. Like it's funny to talk about, but there's something
But it
there.
actually could work.
Like, there's something
it has
there.
potential
Yeah.
to bring something good.
As much as people want to laugh about it, but yeah. I didn't expect for us to go on down that for so long, but that's.
Politics.
I mean, it's fitting for what today is. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it one more time.
Go vote.
Fucking vote.
Go fucking vote.
Go vote. Vote.
Go vote. Yeah.
Vote.
And also, stop breaking shit. I get it, but like, pick and choose what you're breaking.
Right.
Like, you got to think about.
You got to think about other people as well.
You got to think about. I know what your intention is, but you got to think about who's also involved.
Yeah, and the message is also
like,
I don't know.
Don't fuck up black-owned businesses. 1.
Mm-hmm.
2, when you fuck up the other businesses like a Target or a CVS, you're shutting those things down. And yes, you're sticking it to the man. You're sticking it to white America, Uncle Sam. But at the same time, if you're making it unsafe out there for people to go out there and get what they need, there are kids, families, mothers, single mothers, and kids taking care of each other. In most cases, if you really want to get down to it, there's a bunch of teenagers taking care of their younger siblings, or even young adults, or like teenagers who have kids, taking care of their families. And when you make shit unsafe out there, which you see in West Philly, they're like stay inside, like things with looting and everything's getting crazy.
Yeah.
And these black-owned businesses, which things are already hard with the pandemic, you're shutting down their business and making them have to take care of an expense, which I know some of them have insurance, but sometimes they don't, having to repair their business again while trying to survive during a pandemic, a recession, an election year, and all this other shit. So think about a little bit more what you're doing. And I know the people out there who are looting right now aren't watching this. But if you know somebody who is, go tell them why they're fucking stupid. I know why you're upset. And I know why you're doing it. But at the same time, we gotta be productive. You can't be counterproductive.
I know you're stealing.
I'm on your side. I just don't agree with your method.
No, yeah. It's like, we understand, but at the same time, you got to think about this could also be hurting other people, people that look just like you, that probably don't even, want to go or understand what you're doing, but at the same time, they're not doing what you're doing, and it affects everybody, it's not just, like Victor said, yeah, you're sticking to the man, but it's like, you just got to think about further down. You got to think deeply as to like how it can cause like a chain reaction of things and how it can affect other people as well. So be more thoughtful.
And at the same time, I know you're acting off emotion, but also got to think about we're in a fucking pandemic. We're still in a pandemic.
The first time around, it was like really bad, just because like that's when it kind of was like super serious with the pandemic,
And it's still, cases are going up again. And again, putting yourself out there, you're spreading that shit again. Like, you're just prolonging this more and more. My school, I don't even have spring break this year.
Mm-hmm.
They literally took it away. Not that that's like important, that's why I'm saying not to do it, but like this whole pandemic thing's a whole other layer of stress to things, especially with Christmas and other shit. Like, it's just about to get bad. Philly's been leading the country in homicides all year. Now it's about to get to the point where people are stressing they aren't working. There's all this shit going on. Now they have to figure out, how am I going to get a gift for my daughter or son on Christmas Day? Because there's so much pressure associated with that as well, especially when you're struggling. Mm-hmm. So people get desperate, start to rob, kill, and do all this other shit. It's just not, it's going to be scary as shit out here.
This is not it, basically. This is just not it. Like, we got to do better. That's all. Just do better.
But where can they find you, Mark?
Find me Instagram, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Marky Mark. Instagram, it's ETC Marky Mark. I gotta remember that. Find me on Twitch also at MC Marky Mark. Get me to affiliate. I need like 10 more followers. So help me out there. Love streaming. So do that for me. Victor, where can they find you at ETC?
Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, ETC Victor. Real etc. is real etc. at gmail. Email is real etc. Backtrack. The Instagram and Twitter is real etc. The email is real.etc@gmail.com. And also, want to throw this in here. We're going to make something separate about this later. If you are a musician, artist, anything like that, and you want our music to be put in the background of our videos or our streams, email it to us and we'll use it. Or we can talk and have an exchange of what we can do about going and doing that. But we love y'all. See you next week.